It's a good morning. You know, today is a chill day. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Had to get some drinks and shit. But today I'm about to pay the consequence for that shit because I'm about to be out here on this tarmac running 8 miles. So that's gonna fucking suck. But anyway, let me get to the subject here. Why is it so hard for people to be alone nowadays? That's the question. So let's think about it like this. From birth to 18 years old, basically. You know what I'm saying? From birth to 18, you have your parents taking care of you. You got your parents taking care of you. If you got brothers and sisters, you got a brother, you got a sister. You have people around you from birth all the way until 18. A lot of people, as soon as they leave the house, they get into a relationship with somebody. They get into a relationship with somebody and they partner up with somebody and they shack up. And this is usually at a young age, like right after they get out of high school. Like, like they'll get shacked up and have kids that are around like 20 years old, 22, something like that. Hell, even younger. So you go straight from your parents' house from birth to 18. Now you're shacked up with somebody from like, let's say 22 until whenever. That means that you've only had but so much time to have self-development for your own life. A lot of people don't know who the fuck they really are because they haven't had the time to develop themselves because they've always been surrounded by other people. They've been surrounded by their parents. They've been surrounded either, if not surrounded by their parents, surrounded by their wife and their kids. And to be honest, it's a lot of things you can learn about yourself and a lot of ways you can develop yourself if you take that time and just be within your own head and be within your own thoughts. It's hard for a lot of people to be within their own thoughts because, to be honest, if a lot of people are walking around depressed as fuck and they're clearly hiding it, you can feel this shit from a lot of people. You can feel it. You can feel the sadness from a lot of people in society walking around. A lot of people walking around this bitch in America, do they look happy to you? No, they don't. And a lot of it really is because they're not happy with themselves. They haven't fucking took the time out to really check themselves and see what the fuck it is with them. Like, for example, man, like really start looking at yourself. Ask yourself questions like, how do I check myself? Like, how do I check myself when I know I'm wrong? How do I feel about God? How do I feel about, the happenings of the world, and how do I not let that shit affect me and my spirit? You need time by yourself to figure some of these things out. And if you're codependent on somebody your whole life, like your parents or your wife or your kids, if you're just dependent on them for love and to define who you are as a sense of who you are, then you got a lot of work to do. No, don't get me wrong. Having people around is good. Shout out to your parents, shout out to your wife, shout out to your kids, and all of that shit. But if you haven't done the work, if you really haven't done the inner work, and you really haven't, taken that time to really develop yourself like that for real, and I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, physically, all that shit, then you ain't got no business out here dating. You ain't got no business out here having kids. And to be honest, you don't need to have no friends or nobody around you until you goddamn get your shit right. Because you could be dragging down a lot of motherfuckers in your life because you haven't fixed yourself, because you're dependent on somebody else to make you happy. How many times have you come across somebody, like a friend or somebody, who seems like they're always in a relationship? It's some people that can't fucking go without having a partner. And that's because they can't stand to be with themselves. They can't stand to be around themselves because they don't want to see what's going on in their own mind, in their own lives, in their own heart. So yeah, let me just anesthetize myself to my own reality by having sex with whoever. Let me just anesthetize myself to my own reality by trauma dumping my shit on somebody else. Let me anesthetize my own goddamn reality by love bombing somebody or some shit. This is why you got people, and I know some people in particular, but I ain't gonna say no fucking names, man. You know, it's people out here who would motherfucking, who left and right. Hell, they fucking leave their boyfriend or their girlfriend today. They'll have a new boyfriend or girlfriend tomorrow. And guess what? Ultimately, that's that they're gonna ruin a new person's life because because they're not right within. So they feel like they got to leech on to somebody else. It's called an emotional tampon. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of that fucking phrase a lot, you know? So anyway, you know, just find some time to develop yourselves, motherfuckers. You know, find some time to develop yourself. Goddamn, get right physically, get right mentally. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be in a better position to choose a partner. This is gender neutral. This ain't got nothing to do with women. This ain't got nothing to do with men. This is all around the board. You know, just wanted to leave y'all with that, man. You know, if I'm speaking to somebody out here, I hope it left you with something. If not, oh well, man. Let me stop bullshitting. Let me go ahead and get these miles in, you know, before I start losing my goddamn motivation, you know. By the way, just saying, just another fucking point. Goddamn, motivation don't mean shit, but discipline gets the job done. You can be motivated all fucking day and don't do nothing, but if you don't take no goddamn steps to it, you know, to accomplishing whatever the fuck you gotta accomplish, then you can throw that motivation in the goddamn trash. Just wanted to leave y'all with that shit this morning. It's your boy Doc G. About to be sweating like a motherfucker in a minute, so I'll holler at y'all motherfuckers later, man. Peace.